Julia Spencer is a real estate investor with over 25 years' experience who owns multiple investment properties. She's a single mother of two who moved to the U.S. in 1993 with only $20 in her pocket. She currently holds an MBA. Julia Spencer is neither a realtor nor an attorney, and the contents of this recording are only her opinions. Get her free guide to investing at juliamspencer.com. I'm your host, Dr. Steve G. Jones, multimillionaire and hypnotherapist. My website is stevegjones.com. Module 10, Your Real Estate Investment Team. You know, Julia, as we continue talking and I continue learning about all this fascinating real estate information, I'm just wondering how I'm going to make it all happen. I mean, there are so many parts, so many pieces to the real estate puzzle, and you've been very helpful enlightening us on what to do, what not to do, how to do it. But the more I think about it, the more I realize that I'm going to need to assemble a group of experts. And I know from knowing you personally that you've had your trials and errors over the years, and you've hired people that you wish you hadn't hired, and sometimes you didn't hire people that maybe you should have, that would have made your life easier. And now all these years later, and having done this for so long, if someone like me were just starting out, how would you advise us in terms of how to assemble our real estate investment team?
Yes, and a real estate investment team is a very vital component that you need to think about if you want to start investing and making money with real estate. And I definitely have gone through my trials trying to find the right people and assembling the team, getting rid of people, wishing I had hired people that I didn't hire, and so on and so forth. But I would love for this module try to kind of explain what has worked for me. You may have a different strategy, a different way of approach it, but these are the ways that it has worked for me. When I started investing in real estate, I was very, very young. I really didn't know anything. I didn't have any education. I knew nothing about real estate other than I owned my first home at the age of 23. And so at that point, I kind of was pushed into becoming a landlord because I had to move away and it was not feasible to sell my property, which is probably why a lot of people are getting into real estate. They're kind of being forced to being a landlord, and selling isn't feasible. The next option is renting. So what do you do? Who do you call? How do you get things done? So over the years, I've had different thoughts of this. In the very beginning, being very idealistic, I would always think, hey, I can do this on my own. I'm young, I have lots of energy, I can read anything, I can find out anything. I'm very pushy when it has to be, and I will ask the people and I will find information and I'll get it done. That worked for me for a while, and when I started off, I was actually managing my own rental properties. And this might be mind-boggling to most people, but for a 23-year-old, I was interviewing my own tenants, I was running my own background checks, I was actually writing the leases myself and improving them without even knowing any of the laws of how leases can be written and which things can be written in there, which ones can't be written in there by law. I'm not sure if I've crossed any laws that I may have crossed at the time. Some of the leases were crazy, some of the things that I've put in there, and I have to probably add some examples that will probably put a chuckle down on anybody's face. But I pretty much improved my leases with time according to whenever something happened. And whenever somebody trashed my place, I would write in there, "You shall not trash my place." And somebody actually came into one of my properties, and because they were angry that I was kicking them out for non-payment of rent, they used the fire extinguisher and just sprayed it all over the kitchen, just kind of dispensed the fire extinguisher all over my house and left the door wide open and left. And so one of my leases would say, you shall not dispense the fire dispenser in my kitchen unless there is an actual fire, and silly things like that. And, you know, this was a time when I had a lot of time. I had no children, no family to worry about. I was a college student. I had a little bit of a side job in real estate, managing my rental properties. That was my job. And it sounds kind of ridiculous, but from all of that, the good thing came from all of that is that I've actually learned. And one of the most important things that I have learned, of the most important person that you need, if you're going to be a landlord, you have got to get a property manager. And even better, it's good to have several property managers. You might actually be forced to have several property managers just by the fact where your property...
For your free guide to real estate investing, visit juliamspencer.com.